It's showtime! What if that was my opening always? I don't like it. I'm not doing it again. This is Paul Bartholomew. This is I Want to Hold Your Band. Today we talk with actor Amy Brenneman. What don't you know her from is the question. She right now is in The Old Man on FX, but you probably know her back from Judging Amy or Private Practice or The Leftovers or Goliath more recently. I mean, there's so much heat. She was in that great film. She is such a wonderful human being and a great actor, and I had a great time talking with her. We talked about Kate Bush and Peter Gabriel and Ani DiFranco and Roxy Music, which she was surprised to learn I did not know. Don't forget, you can find a playlist with links to all the songs we talk about in the episode description on Spotify and iTunes, and then you can listen along to what we're talking about. And please subscribe and like. I give you the delightful Amy Brenneman. Okay, so the way I always start, first piece of music, artist, album that you remember coming into your life.
Such a good question. I mean, I grew up in this congregational church, and there's a Christmas carol called On This Day, Earth Shall Ring, and it's in a minor key. And I remember being really struck by, like Jesus being born is intense. Like, it's not just happy. Like, I remember being in the church, being struck by how those notes kind of went together and made me feel funny inside. Like, whoa.
Good funny or like intimidated funny?
Both. It was like the story of Christmas is very complex in a way that some of these cheerful ones didn't indicate.
How old were you?
Before I was 10. I have two older brothers, and my oldest brother, Matt, was a quote-unquote like bad kid in high school. We're really close, but he was like, like dealing dope. And by the way, now of course he's a lawyer.
How much older?
4 years older.
4 years older. Okay.
So anything too hard rock and roll felt scary to me. I mean, it felt like scary stoned males, it was like,
associated with him kind of like,
yeah. And he was not a scary person, but it was more like, that makes me nervous. So my friend Gail had two older sisters. So she brought over Court and Spark. That was huge. Chicago, If You Leave Me Now. And then Dan Fogelberg. I mean, I would say Joni was early, enormous, and continues to be. But the thing about Joni still that is unusual, and I think just spoke to so many young women and men, is the complexity of her feelings. So like most pop songs, it's like, I was lonely and now I love you and I'm never gonna have a problem again. And Joni's like, I love you, and then I get really claustrophobic, but then I miss you when I'm like, I was just so struck by her tunes being more complex, her lyrics being more complex. And then again, sort of like that Christmas Carol story, there's literally intervals in tunes that would get into me. So when I first heard Soccer Game, we're captured on a carousel of time. Like just the way that goes, like, ooh. Can't Find My Way Home did the same thing to me. Like there's literally like that, it's like an achy breaky heart interval.
So when your friend would brought over like Court and Spark, what was her name?
Gail.
Gail was the same age as you were older than you.
My age, yeah.
when Gail would bring it over, did you have a record player in your room, downstairs? Like if you were going to play it, would you come and you'd put them on the record player in the living room?
I would not say we were a huge musical family. I know some people grow up with music all around.
Right.
We had a stereo that was in our living room, and there was like this little love seat couch. It's like there was a nook. It was pretty uncomfortable when you think about it, but we'd sort of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sit on the ground and listen there. They loved classical music, which I wasn't that connected to. So we had sort of Time Life. We had a lot of those.
Collections.
Yes. Yeah. Then there was this moment, which I recall very well, of realizing that songs had lyrics. And I remember we were listening to Fiddler on the Roof, the album, and my dad, I was like, on my tummy in the living room, and he got back and he started singing the papa. And I was like, oh, they're saying something. It's sort of like, before you can read and letters are just jumbling, and then you're like, oh, I can pick those things out. And
that's interesting.
And then there was a Cole Porter musical that I think was in London or something, kind of randomly, that I loved, and I learned a lot of Cole Porter songs from that. And so the whole kind of lyric and music go together. Also, you're making me remember, we used to do these really long car trips to Canada and Maine and these camping trips, and we would listen to the radio. So there was this one
where you grew up in Connecticut, right? Okay.
And we'd go up to Prince Edward Island. I mean, we'd just drive and drive and drive.
Did you hate that? Sounds like.
It was bonding. I mean, there wasn't internet. It was just, but my brothers, the
5 of you.
Yeah. Oh. And a lot of camping stuff. And my parents were not adept at camping. They were lawyers, but they had an idea of what we should do. But we would listen to Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again Naturally. Alone Again Naturally. And then Brandi, you're a fine and a good wife.
Well, it's interesting that your parents were not campers, but they would make a point to do it. That's sweet.
Is it?
Well, it's interesting in the sense they're like, you know what? This is what we should do.
Well, they had both crappy childhoods, and then they found each other and were in love for their whole lives. So they had this idea. Many of them were great ideas, like we're going to have family dinners and we're going to have good holidays. And but then other things like we should go camping. It's like, and it would be like pouring. It's like, can we go to the motel?
Right. There's the idea of it. They were just attached to.
Yeah, and everything was hard work. Like the idea, like I didn't. We would go to Maine and you couldn't swim because the water was so cold. And when I was 19, it was the first time I swam in the Caribbean Ocean. I was like, what the hell? Like we could have done. Like, what are you talking about?
Why are we going to Maine?
Everything's just a lot of hard work.
Okay, so let's start with one of your favorite artists, which is Kate Bush. The album's Hounds of Love, and one of the songs you listed was Waking the Witch.
Yeah.
So how did Kate Bush come into your life?
A guy I went to college with, Alec Kashishian. He went on to direct this movie called Truth or Dare with Madonna. Like he was sort of my age, but very much more into pop stuff than I was. Although Kate Bush wasn't particularly pop, but he turned me on to her. So Kate Bush has had a resurgence because of Stranger Things, Running Up the Hill, but we have always loved her. We in my little group, and she creates in the same way that Peter Gabriel creates, sonically really complex and storytelling, just these incredible stories. So Hounds of Love, which I think is where Waking the Witch is a whole, and Running Up the Hill is on that, is a kind of a concept album, like not entirely, but kind of. And Waking the Witch is just awesome. It's very mythic. She does these cool things with her voice. I think it's just about waking up this primordial, ragey, feminine energy. Kate Bush has like Peter Gabriel does, a theatricality that appealed to me. It's sort of characters, and it's not always, with Joni, if she says you pretty much know she's talking about Joni Mitchell. Right. Like Kate will sort of tell it basically like, I'm a witch or I'm a this, or, she's more of a dramatist, which really appealed to me.
Okay, so let's listen to just a little bit of it. This is off of Hounds of Love, Kate Bush, and this is Waking the Witch, so we're going to try it.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
It's really good, and it's so captivating from the beginning. That soundscape of and the different voices.
What it does to me is like being a child and hearing grown-ups in the next room, and you're kind of in and out of sleep, and then like wake up, and the way suddenly you're in the Salem witch trials. It's just like, wow, and I don't know what it is. It always gets
love
me.
It, that part.
And I listen to it in trailers. I mean, this is a lot of how I use music. It's just like, because it kind of, the Kundalini gets like, wow.
What does it do? Just make you really like present and
I mean, this one makes me defiant and sort of, I definitely feel like when I hear that male intoned judgment, like, confess to me, girl.
Yeah.
It doesn't scare me. It makes me, here we go.
For the listener, watching Amy experience this song and that part where that voice comes in was amazing. That was awesome. I stopped it so that we could get to other things.
Yeah.
But it made me so want to listen to that whole thing.
Well, the thing about her too is that I'm not a big like my brother Andrew is always, and some of it Brian Eno I really like, and some of it's like I can't find the tune. Yeah. She has some of that 80s experimentation, but because she's a storyteller, I can follow it and get involved. It's not so dry, honestly.
So let's jump right to another. How did you come to Peter Gabriel? Same time as Kate Bush?
Probably slightly after. So would have been my senior year in college, although I went on the slow road. Peter Gabriel, So, Speaking in Tongues, and Elvis Costello, Every Day I Write the Book. Those 3 albums came out that fall.
I don't know that third album. I know Elvis Costello stuff, but I don't know
every
that.
Every day I write the book. For me, it was on heavy rotation. So, and Speaking in Tongues. And
Those 3 albums.
Yeah. Do you know Come Talk to Me?
I don't know.
Because it's about his daughter, actually.
You know what? Let's listen to a little bit of it, and then you can talk a little more about it. So we're going to listen to Peter Gabriel's Come Talk to Me from the album Us from 1992. Here we go. God, his voice is it's just so...
It's so masculine and vulnerable, you know? That's kind of...
Oh, that's great.
So it's super gruff and masculine, but like completely unguarded. And so and then I didn't know this. I read it after I fell in love with the song and this album, but he had his teenage daughter was just like shutting the door all the time. So this isn't for a lover. This is his daughter.
Wow.
Like, why are you, she's sitting in the dark and not talking to him.
Come talk to me.
Yeah. Please come talk to me. Can you show me how it feels, love? Come on, just talk to me. So when you see it as a parent, it's super moving. You know, it's funny too, like playing this after the Kate Bush song, because I do like that kind of sonic bed. It's like we're marching toward, you know, telling the truth or something. There's something that's really compelling to me about that.
Do you have any Celtic blood in you?
A little bit. I was at Stonehenge last winter solstice and it felt right, man. I was like, I am right at home. Yeah. I mean, it's like before the Judeo-Christians fucked it up, you know, let's go back to the old timey religion, you know, but this feels like very sacred music.
That beginning, you know? When it starts, those instruments, what are those droning kind of like
U2 has that too.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Did I have any U2 on my list?
No, but I was going to say that exact thing. I was like, those first chords at the beginning sounded to me like early U2.
Yeah.
Like
I think I have Mysterious Ways on there. I must have a couple U2.
You maybe did. I may have because I'm so familiar with U2, so I was like, not talking about it. Not happening. Not doing it. Okay, let's go to one of your favorite Sadness song, which is More Than This by Roxy Music.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know this song.
What?
Yes, I know. Blind Spots, I'm telling you.
Well, Avalon, that album is amazing. I think that's the name of the album. And
Avalon, it's in 1982.
Right. First boyfriend. More Than This is just the most romantic. I think Sofia Coppola used it in Lost in Translation. Bill Murray sings More Than This at a karaoke thing. It's a wonderful, very different from Peter Gabriel, but I think similarly, very male, very attractive, very sexy, but so romantic. He's just out and out romantic. I just kind of want to play.
Let's play. Okay, so we're going to play it right now. We're going to play...
and do it through the first chorus.
Okay. We're going to play More Than This. It's from 1982, the album Avalon by Roxy Music. So here we go. So good. What was the boyfriend's name?
John. And he was a bit older than me. So I was in college in Boston. He was in New York. That just hyper romantic. Yeah. Again, it's sort of like, it's cool to listen. Like, oh, why do these things make an imprint? It's like, there's like this tumbling down, like more, it's like, it's like post-coital. It's like, woof. Yeah. Like that's just awesome. You know, it's just very surrendered and lush. It's very lush to me.
That's so a classic 80s sound to me. Very nostalgic.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny because I'm listening. I'm like, Peter Gabriel is still very current to me. Kate Bush weirdly is. This, I'm like, is it nostalgia? I'm like, it's still really good.
Wait, so that's interesting. Nostalgia for you is not a good thing in the sense you mean like it's past and I liked it, but it doesn't hold up kind of thing. That's how you refer to nostalgia?
Yeah, that was negative.
No, it's you attach what you attach to it.
Like, does it hold up really? Yeah. And not that it has to, but like, you know, with my kids, like, oh, would they like it? And or anybody that didn't live through that moment in time.
Right.
Because there's some sounds from the 80s and 90s that are charming, but do sound dated and a little cringy, you know? This, I'm like, is it cringy? Or I think it's still good.
So we're going to go to one of your favorite artists, Ani DiFranco.
Yeah.
And the song 32 Flavors, which is from 1995 from Not a Pretty Girl. So how did you come to her?
Yeah, there's a very specific story where I was in New York. I was promoting something or other in the 90s. And my friend and publicist, Steven, who I'm still with, she was playing at like the Beacon. It was like Upper West Side off Broadway.
That's the Beacon.
Yeah. Stumbled in and fell in love.
Wait, you literally just walking and I'm like, I'll get it.
Yeah, somehow we had heard of her. I think Steven had the same experience. We're just like, oh, we had a free night and And she was so fucking charming and smart, and the music was great. She's small in stature and adorable. And she was like, at one point she was cracking a joke and she was like, everybody thinks I'm a really angry feminist, but like, this is who I am. And I was like, oh, it's such a beautiful way. I would never think she was overly angry from her music. It's a lot of different colors, but you know, she is very out and proud about being a feminist and what that means and being a humanist. And, but she just was so humble and funny that I just fell in love with her, and then started listening to her all the time. I mean, Living in Clip is a live album, sort of like Four-Way Street's a live album that I know her funny little jokes. I could almost do the whole thing.
Right.
And then her ability to, she started her own label because she just was like, nobody's allowing me to say what I want to say. And there's a great song called Napoleon where everyone is a fucking Napoleon, which is about her walking out on a really fat deal because they wanted her to, dress in high heels or whatever. They just wanted to form her image. And she's like, I just want to keep doing my thing. So I'm a huge Ani DiFranco fan. I was at a march in Washington probably 20 years ago, and it was called March for Women's Lives. And I was asked to introduce her, and I had the same experience with another woman I am crazy about, Anne Lamott, as a writer. And to me, when people are rock stars, I'm like, well, there's going to be a huge entourage, and oh my God. And I just remember like Ani was just like backstage by herself with her guitar. I'm like, I just love you. She came out and she sang 32 Flavors is just one of my all-time favorites. And again, I guess if there is a theme, and there probably is, just the complexity of humanity, of being a female. And I think maybe in retrospect, one of the reasons that charmed me when she said that is this idea of like, if I have strong feelings, it doesn't mean I'm a bitch, And it's like, I'm kind of all things the way hopefully everybody is. And we get to lift each other up and not sort of pigeonhole. And I feel like that's especially true right now, where we're kind of like making decisions. The algorithm is making decisions for how I'm supposed to see this other human. And it's like, wait a minute, we are all much more complex than that.
So let's go to, I'm really curious about Zoe Keating, Escape Artist. It's one of your obscure songs. And I just listened to 2 seconds of it, but it was beautiful.
Zoe Keating is awesome. Are you going to play any of her?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm going to play the song that you have, Escape Artist.
I have a creative teacher named Kim Gillingham, and she works in different ways.
Wait, creative teacher? What do you mean by that? Like a spiritual guide, or like a life coach?
It's hard to describe her. She has something called creative dream work. So there's a lot of actors in there, but there's also musicians and activists and writers, a lot of writers actually. It's basically if you put Carl Jung with Stanislavski, it's sort of a lot of dream work and a lot of kind of getting the ego to quiet down a little bit, so you can kind of hear a deeper. It's great.
So you were saying that.
So I know Zoe Keating is where Kim is where I first heard Zoe Keating. Then I started listening to her. Then, one thing I haven't talked about is I have playlists for every character I do.
Have you been doing that for a long time?
Yeah, and I used to do it in a kind of more uptight way, which I did an independent movie years ago, and I remember like every scene having a song, and I would make myself listen to it, and it was like but then like with any actor prep, sometimes it's like that's not giving me any juice, so I do it in a much looser way. And then what's cool, I did a really cool show, if I do say so, called Tell Me Your Secrets with Hamish Linklater and Lily Rabe a couple of years ago, where I played as the writer Harriet. She's like, I was your first sociopath. I was like, you were. I was like, bye, judging Amy. So she uses music a lot. So we started using Spotify it's like, oh, here's this vibe. Here's the vibe of the scene. You know what I mean? And then one song in particular played we were in a club, and she's like, here's the song. And I was like, oh, that's super helpful. So then I started kicking her. It's like, oh, it reminds me of Mary. So that's super fun with collaborators to go, here's a vibe. Here's a vibe. You know what I mean? So I have sort of piles of stuff for all the projects. And Zoe Keating, I think, was really big for Old Man, actually. This the Jeff Bridges show that I do.
Do you find that there's a rhythm that you fall into? So you get it, you get the script, you read it, and then do you start building a playlist, or does it just kind of happen organically?
It just kind of happens. But then once you start opening the psyche to the project, to the person, then you'll be out in the world and go like, oh, that's her, or that's it. I think the way I got in trouble when I was younger is sort of like the way, I once worked very briefly with this one. I've never had acting coaches per se, just because I don't want anybody in my head, frankly. If somebody's going to be in my head, it's going to be the director. I can't have it too populated up there. But I worked with this one person who a friend of mine worked with, and she was really big on substitutions. And so there were kind of 3 men in my life in the movie, and she was like, okay, it just was so laborious. She's like, that kind of reminds me of something 7th grade. But I swear to God, I needed a math cheat sheet on the day. It did not free me up and put me in my head.
Oh, yeah.
So it just gets a little bit more, but then I'll play it in the car on the way to work. I'm not so, in general, I feel like when I was younger, maybe when we're all younger, it's like, especially if it's an emotional scene, I felt like, okay, I have to isolate myself in my trailer and listen to my music. And now I could give a shit. I mean, I really, it helps me more to be with the world.
And you just pop in like you
pop it in. Yeah. It's like if I have to half go away, or I love the one ear pod thing. Nobody even knows. So I'll be sort of double parked on real life because I'm getting ready to.
Double parked in real life. I haven't heard that.
I feel like I'm always a little bit double parked in real, because if you're creative, you're just a little bit.
100%. All right. So we're going to listen to Escape Artist 2010, Zoe Keating, Into the Trees is the album. There's this, it's only the songs I've picked. You have a full questionnaire that you answered, but we already kind of talked about it. It's interesting, this and the Kate Bush and the Peter Gabriel. It's like there's this primal thing that you're drawn to.
I think that's right. I mean, it's like the power and inevitability and the driving rhythm. I'm always drawn to that. Yeah, and it's funny. I guess one way to put it too is, when I work with music and my acting stuff, sometimes it's lyrics, but often it's the vibe. You can soundtrack your own thing, right? It's like just to give yourself that support for what you're doing. It's also to get, I have a pretty busy brain. So it's like, which I'd never want to shame, but it's my teacher, again, Kim, she talks about other kinds of intelligences like instinct and imagination and in the body. I mean, it's in the body, in the body, in the body. So I think like with the cello like that, they always say the cello, you feel it in the body. Yeah. And then that allows me to go, okay, just take a rest up here a little bit, and let's just like explore from a different lens. I'm also into like Hindu devotional stuff. Like sometimes just like, I lived in India for a while. So that
you did?
I did.
For how long?
Like 7 months. I live in Kathmandu, and then I went back to northern India. So
when?
In college. Yeah. And then I went back to India a couple times. So that the raga stuff always really, grounds me.
How old were you when you first went for 7 months?
I was 19 or 20. Yeah, I majored in religion. Ended up majoring in Tibetan Buddhism, but went there as a Hindu major. So got to Kathmandu and then met the Tibetans, and it did change my life. So that's why Bodhi is Bodhi. So I'm not a practicing Buddhist, but the Tibetans I ended up writing my thesis on Tibetan Buddhism. So
I think there is a theme with this, it's who you are too. I feel like, you're a grounded Mother Earth kind of a human and artist. And I think your music kind of reflects that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It was cool I see that.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. Like, oh, it's always this churning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some Celtic in there. Well, thanks for talking.
I saw that on your Instagram, actually. You were at a pub where.
Oh, yes.
Was it like, all three of them?
Yeah, it's Alyssa and the 2 girls, and they're just surrounded by all these guys. I'm like, go nuts. I don't know. Like, I'm just watching it. No. These guys are playing next to me. I'm like, they're just crowding around. It's getting bigger and bigger. Oh, there's some Americans down in the bar down there. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.